Cheers, brother.
Bring these guys
First thing you done all week.
to a story of time, will we?
Yeah. Right.
Maybe
You
we
wanna
can't,
you wanna
will we?
start? You wanna start, Paul?
Yeah, I'll start. Where we start at the start. Last year, Beamish came to us and they said, "You guys are class, and we want to do something with you." So that was the start of the Macara and Beamish journey. So we had to do a video first of all to say that we were bringing Beamish into the pub.
We always wanted to bring a horse into the pub, so we were like, this is our chance. We're gonna set up the place like an old saloon. We're gonna dress up in old cowboys' clothes.
You always wanted to bring a horse into the pub, and I always wanted to smoke fags inside the pub. So we were like, right, how do we get that on the go?
Do you remember we all just like turned up that morning and we all had cowboy gear just somehow in the house, and then Robbie Nardone, one of the actors, was just like arrived with no cowboy gear. He just couldn't understand why we all had cowboy gear sitting at home ready to go. Like,
He was like, "What are you boys ready for? Like, why can you all get cowboy gear in the space of an hour? Like, he's all looking really good cowboys." The concept of the video was that there was no cowboys, no saloon. We got a horse. I rode the horse into the bar. The horse came in, drank a pint of Beamish, and
Let's talk about whenever we approached Beamish with the idea, and they were like, that is the stupidest thing.
cut that out.
they're like, "Why does that make sense?" It doesn't.
So then we were like, right, we're gonna come out with a collab drop this year with some t-shirts, tracksuit, a hat, tote bag.
Co-branded horse.
Yeah. And we were like, well, sure, nothing better to design the whole drop on than the horse. So that's how we came out with that drop. It sort of went a bit mad. It was put up on Joe.e, picked it up, and Lad Bible, and I think District had it up. Corvinny was
busy, but
Yeah, I remember going out down to the post office. Shout out to the dog post office in Bridge Street. Had to bring you on the present every time he was going with the 45 packages.
and it was
Started
right.
off with a bottle of rosé, and I was like, that was very dear. So I took down to, I think it was a Chomp was the last thing you bought.
I also remember, obviously, like Finno was doing a lot of the packaging. Well, we were all doing it, but
I sent out one special package.
some
Thank you for this box of air.
just replied an email like it was after Christmas too, because I think they opened it as a Christmas present, and they were just like, "Oh, guys, I think there's something wrong with my package. There's just nothing in it."
really, yeah, better watch that one.
We're so leather hats.
That led to this year.
Beamish were obviously over the moon. Says, lads, if there's any more mad or extravagant ideas for us this year, and we says, just the man.
So funny enough, yeah, we were like, we do. We always wanted to make a documentary about this topic, and we were just like needing the right partner and the right sort of push to go and do it. So so the three partners. So Paul kind of again was the inspiration. Probably came to him in a dream when he was about 10 years old.
No, it's
Yeah.
kind of real stuff.
Well, when I was 10, I went and some witch and I got the cure for asthma. And I had to go find a donkey and take the hair of the cross on the donkey's arse and wear it on my chest. But, but the asthma was gone. My sister also got the cure for warts in her hand. I had to go get a snail and like make a cross on the warts and put the snail in a handkerchief out in the garden. And when the snail died, all the warts fell off. And I still remember waking up and running around the house and like, my warts are gone.
What it was.
Yeah, so it's always something, and this part of the country, like, people know it and you hear people talking about it, but if you ever like brought it up to anyone that wasn't from Dundalk or probably Clare or Kerry or something like that, like especially the Dubs, they never had a clue what it was. You know, they thought you were thinking about the pint the next day, the cure when you were dying. So we always thought it'd be a real interesting documentary or story for someone to do, and we always said that, oh, I'd like to think Tommy Tiernan and Hector would do that for TG Car or RTE, but we decided we are the man, we should do it.
We can get out there.
Yeah.
So we had to find out about the cure, and for some reason we heard that the directory of everyone who ever had the cure was in the library in Mullingar.
Someone told you in here one day, didn't they?
Yeah, someone's like came into the pub and they're like, that's where you have to go. So we were like, right, instead of heading out there, we will ring Mullingar Library first.
What are you doing here?
Hello, Mullingar Library.
I was like, explained, someone told me this and whatever. She said, no, we have nothing like that. Absolutely not.
Did you ever get the cure for it yourself?
No.
No.
To be honest. No,
Yeah, no ailments, thank God. Did you touch wood?
She said you should ring your local library. So across the road here, give them a ring.
Yeah, perfect, thank you.
I was a book here with like Cures of Ireland. It's all about cures and getting that.
She thinks we're having her on. She says to just ring up before.
Explained it all to them, and they were like, yeah, no, we don't have that either. So we really needed like a shaman or some sort of sham.
What's a sham?
Like a sham in a sham in a week. We needed somebody that knew
Knew something.
about the cure, and it was our sort of gateway for 3 young fellas who wanted to learn about this old ancient Irish carry-on.
Like
I
he
suppose
went,
you might say.
and as we were thinking about this person, I was envisioning a fella on a white horse treading across the countryside with a paddy cap on. Who is that?
With
fella?
long flowing
Yeah,
golden
and
locks.
You'd swear we just drew this fella because there's a fella that was being here, Kieran Phillips, and I was like, right, that is the man for this. So on the blower, we went. Hello, he always answers with something raunchy. So hello, Lebanese massage bar. Kieran speaking. Right, so I goes, right, Kieran, give him the full spiel, and he goes, you know what, young Mulligan, I can see 15 people with the cure for something from me house. And he lives in a week, there's only about 13 houses.
I go to do it in the college. We get 3 or 4 seats around the thing, fill them in it. I get the fire lit, and that's for those stories and stuff, you know.
Yeah, class.
That's hilarious.
So we got on our horse, our Jimmy, and out to Kieran Phillips, we set sail.
It's out of my own shop, Vincent's shop. So we're going to be travelling around Ireland here now for the next couple of weeks looking for the cure. The cure for what, you may ask? The cure for everything.
We're going out to meet a man, he's our guide to the spiritual underworld of Ireland, a man called Kieran Phillips. So we said we better dress appropriately, and we can't really go out empty-handed, so we're going to have to stop on the way here.
We bought him a bit of makeup to take out them.
and get him a few cans as well. But this is football, Kelly, saying that.
He just rang us and told us
Like we were lost. We were like at the crossroads. Remember, we all pulled in and we're like, oh, we're not really sure where his house is. We're like, write him down. So like, there's no signal. So we had to find another crossroads with a wee bit of signal, and we finally got through them.
yeah, so we took a right down into a meeting. My dad's from there, so sort of knew where we were going then. And then we just came to another wee turn, and there was this majestic character sat up on top of this
The biggest
white,
horse I've ever
yeah,
seen.
cob bareback as well. And I think he'd just been he was sitting on it for like an hour, because we were meant to be there like an hour before that, so he was just standing there. But yeah, then he put me on the back of it and she took off. But I never felt so alive, like
But it was
riding
amazing.
riding a horse bareback.
What's the horse called? That's Hopper. Hopper! Right. Oh my god. Oh fuck. That's some horse.
I'm way ahead, we stop this thing then.
Why you went there, Ollie? Yeah, what are you going to do today? But who? I'd be freaking out if that was me.
Riding a horse bareback. I know that doesn't sound great, but you could feel it under your you could feel it under your arse.
Yeah, we met Kieran, and as if the setting wasn't picturesque and the most beautiful place I've ever seen, he then took us into his granny's cottage.
He lives out in O'Meat, like a wee, like restored cottage that used to be dance hall, wasn't it?
In the foot of the Mourne Hills.
Yeah. So and just surrounded by like his vegetable patch and his big sunflower field across the way.
And at night time, when there's no sun, they face each other. I think that's beautiful.
Class.
They face each other for the
For the company.
yeah.
It is class, isn't it?
And they're beautiful.
The son actually makes old walking sticks out of, what was that? Is it hawthorn wood? But there's all Americans and all ordering them, and like we're thinking we might get one ourselves.
but they could.
What's that there? That looks a bit raunchy.
That's a cock. 4 hours I had to stand here and model in the winter.
Yeah, so then we went in with him and we had a cup of tea and a can of Beamish and we sat down.
We had a scone, didn't
Yeah,
we?
a scone.
That was some horse, I have to say. Anytime I rode a horse before, it was always too safe. You know, they were like making you go really slow and they were like,
We bought him, our Ryan got married out in Inishmore about 2 years ago. And when I was walking back up the road after the wedding, your mum was coming up the road and I said, what are you doing? And he says, you know what? He says, I'm going to sell him. 2 seconds we bought him. And I went to Galway, he shipped him in. He shipped him in, I couldn't tell you that. but bad enough of a mulligan to ask.
Tell us about what you know about the cure. People you know.
Unbelievable, boys, what I've found out this last few days about it. Unbelievable. Really, I've rang the country boy. It's unbelievable.
That's on the phone bill this month.
The fact that it's still alive and well, and like those other things are still, people still want to know about them and still want to hear about them, you know?
Yeah.
It's class.
we're going to figure it out today.
So we'll talk about all that when we get in at the fire.
Yeah.
We're eating bread and jam.
Make that jam yourself.
Did, yeah. That's homemade. Raspberries out of the neighbour's garden. No, really, they rang the other day and says, there's loads of raspberries in the garden, why don't you take them? So we took all the raspberries and before we left we took all their plums too. What time does makeup come on?
We've ours on already.
So, we're here with the Curesies.
Yeah, well, you're looking to find a few cures.
There ain't no cure for what you three here.
But if there was, it'd be out there. If there's ever a place to find it.
My first hearing of a cure or how it worked or anything was there was a wee man lived over the lane here, a boy called Jem Hanlon. Over the lane you would over on the horse there now. And he lived with his sister Susan and they had the real old type cottage. You know, with the crane and the hanger over the, they done all their baking over the fire. And he had the cure for a stye in your eye. And I remember as a child, when you'd be sent over to him, he would pick gooseberry thorns and he would say prayers over you. And by the time you'd be back at the house, your stay was gone. It was amazing, like.
We come from such a magical, mythical place that
Yeah.
is the dark and loud and this, but
Well, now, hold on. When did this happen? Last night?
well, you know, we're very. But for people like the likes of the Dubs there and all this, there's never heard of a cure in the life. How would you explain it? Or like,
Well, I don't know. Is
Like
it? Is a lot of people think? A lot of people think you have to have faith in it. You have to have faith in it for it to work. People would say it comes from the fairies, from the little people, that those cures were, because that's a big part of our Irish heritage too. And other people say it's from the man above. A lot of people would think it's a religious thing. It's the hand of God that cures you. So I'll go with either of them. Years ago, I took my mum out to a wee man called Michael McBride out in Knockbridge. Did you ever hear of him? No.
no,
Lived in a little cottage. He was almost, I think he was 89 whenever we went out. I think he only passed away last year. But lovely, wee quiet man, lived in a wee cottage. And his wife was only after died. He was kind of lonely and he was mad for the company that night we went in. So he gave mum the charm anyway. He said his prayers with her and that was grand. Her and my sister went out to the car and I was sitting talking to him for a while after. And I says, how did you come to have this? Where do you hear this first story, boys? He's going to love this. I said, how did you come to have this charm or the gift? He said, when I was a child going to school, I was about 10 or 12. I would call, I lived on the ramparts in Dundalk, and I would call with this lady at the corner house, and I would take in her coal in the evening, and I would do her wee turns, and you know, he says, and we had a nice friendship. And she says, I want you to call to me tomorrow, Michael, I'm going away. I want you to call with me at 12 o'clock. And he's thinking, Jesus, I have school tomorrow. And he says, I'm not going to make it. So he says, well, play it on my mind all night. How am I going to get out of there? I have to be with her. So he says, I jumped the gate and went down. And she took me in and she says, I'm heading off, she says, but I want to give you this. And she gave him the cure. She handed the cure down to him for shingles. So the next morning he was going to school and there was a few people around the house and he called and she passed away that night. But she gave him the cure the previous day, which was something else.
And you think it's dying? I know before you said that you thought it did, but after speaking to so many people over the last week or something,
it gives you great old heart again. Even what we're doing here now, it stops them things dying out.
yeah.
There's people I guarantee has never heard of it.
I think what we really wanted from Kieran was, because he's respected and well got in that community, we wanted him to take us to somebody that had the cure. So he rang around and he got this fella.
Shout out Pat Dobbin.
In fairness, he had someone for us within 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So maybe he was right about the amount of people that owe me. That's the cure.
I think something about the cure that we kind of found out is that people generally, if you have it, some people don't want to talk about it.
You're not supposed to, yeah. We found out that after that if you have the cure and you talk about the cure, you can lose the ability to cure people. So it's kind of like Fight Club, you're not supposed to talk about it.
So Pat Dobbin, he didn't mind being on camera, but he didn't say much.
Was your dad just get passed out?
He got passed out his mother.
From his mother, Pat?
Yeah, that's what it was.
So you would have just had people ring you up?
People would ring up and say, I think it's a ring room, can you have a look at it? So I say, come down and have a look at it. Take you down, you look at it, bose it, then you give them the couple of ingredients they had to get. Then they take it back to me and then I proceed to making it and then put another wee secret ingredient in it, type of thing, which I can't divulge.
Yeah.
So that'd be going to the grave with me.
And can you pass that on, Pat?
I'll pass it on probably to Rosie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Do you think with Pat is like, we were talking earlier, where it comes from? Is it like a religious thing or is it a...
I would say there'd be a wee bit of religion about it somewhere. There. I would think so.
Yeah, I would too, Pat.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are prayer based too. That whenever they're like, I remember my father with the shingles, and your woman saying prayers with heated sticks in the fire, and she said prayers with them. And
like what age is Granny? She was 83 or something when she died. Like, so she was, and she was born in 1900 or something. Was she?
Died in 71. She was 1880 something, so 1879 or something.
When she was born,
Really?
so that's be a different time then, and people were probably done
And
different things.
everything was around religion.
yeah,
Everything. It didn't matter what it was.
yeah.
We were trying to get into it, how he makes it and all. He basically makes a potion. He wouldn't tell us obviously what goes into it, and he gives it to you. I think the person obviously that has it, and did they rub it on the ringworm? Is that or they drink it?
Yeah. One of them things anyways.
I wouldn't say you drink it. I'd say you probably.
We didn't get to find out. Didn't have ringworm that day.
And then we took him over to the grand view from view.
Fight. Yeah, so that was the cure, and then that kind of led on to the fairies, because when you're talking about old Ireland and Kieran Phillips getting into everything and knows everything and talking about everything, we got into the fairies, or as they like to be called, the little people. Oh, what was the other word for them? It's an Irish.
Nandini Guiha or Nadini Guiha, the wind people or something like that, isn't it?
It was a nice name for them.
Or Nadini Shiha. Shiha or something like that.
So it's the biggest school day ever for me when you informed me that that's where the phrase "away with the fairies" come from. Yeah, it's crazy.
But I like Kieran Phillips. His passion in life, I think, is fairies and leprechauns and just small people. Like, so he loves
It's all video, yeah.
That's why they got me to ring him.
Yeah, I don't know if it comes from the little people, but that is alive and well still in Ireland too. Is the old Irish heritage and the folklore and the little people and the fairies. Big believer in them. I have them over here in the field myself. We have a fairy bush at the bottom of the flagstaff.
Should we go over and say hello to
Yeah,
them?
you can say whatever you like to them. I take them over a wee Beamish. Niamh, my wife, met a lady in Belfast. She's a land healer. Way before this even happened. And Niamh put her hand out to thing and she says, Niamh, I can't come near you. Whatever it is, there's an energy. Something. She says, have you got fairies around your land? This woman worked on the Hill of Tara. She worked on the bypass in Gort. And she hadn't been well, and she says, I can't come near you, Niamh. She says, there's something going on around your part of the world with the little people. So she says, do you have land? Do you have, Niamh says, yeah. And she says, she says, yeah, we have a fairy tree. She says, it's not coming from that. So she says, will you get your husband to ring me? I rang her that night and she says, I was getting no disrespect to your wife, but from your area there's something going on. And I said, really? So she got her maps out. She was in Belfast on the phone. She wasn't well at the time, God love her. And she got the maps out and I explained to her where my house was on it. And I told her where the fairy tree was over here in the field. She says, no, it's not. She says, this is actually down along the shore, no mate. And the next thing, a couple of days later, we found out that the fairy tree was cut. So this lady could tell this as just from meeting my wife, 60 miles from home. It's mad, you know. It's mad. Yeah. So anyway, the Hers cut the tree down, and yeah, I don't wish them any, but I hope it doesn't interfere with the thing in the bridge. And anybody that I know interfered with them before always ended up bad.
Yeah, I think it might stay off that bridge for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, unless you want to go to the Genoa for a bag of chips. More budget.
you want the rest?
Yeah, you got it. You know.
But we went up to visit the tree ourselves. So we took ourselves to the fairy tree and we asked, fairies, do you mind if we entered? We entered and we went up and we left them down the can of Beamish.
So where with the fairies then?
Will we go over and give the fairies a can of Beamish?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not?
Even just out into the sun would be nice.
You're just too hot.
What about, we were meant to shoot this a couple of weeks ago, Ciaran?
Yeah, tell them what happened last week.
I don't know, I can't remember. Yeah, you rang me on the Monday and said, are we all good for tomorrow? And up to that I was going, yeah, it's good, Tuesday's the day. And then Niamh said to me, oh, our Liliana's getting married tomorrow, my daughter was getting married.
Yeah. Fairies, you mind if I come in? I'm no threat, just want to say hello over the weekend at Beamish for you.
Yep, you'll be more than welcome.
No threat.
No threat, fairies. Come in to give you a card.
Isn't it amazing?
It's class.
You see in the winter time here, boys, you swear that was just going to blow over. And every spring she buds up again and she... Yeah, and see the wee ring all around it? The fairies dance around it at night.
We've a can of Beamish for the fairies.
Good man, you're shot.
Now, we know you're normally used to the stronger stuff fairies, but...
You're not going to open it for them?
We open it for them, yeah.
Yeah, sure, how would they? Wished. There you go, boys, and the best Irish luck to you. Me is dance and sing far harder when you have that in you.
Sláinte.
Sláinte.
That's some tree.
Isn't it beautiful?
Gas. There's some wear and tear around it, isn't there?
Isn't there something to it? Yeah, there's yeah, it still is a massive part of our heritage, like. Massive part of our heritage.
Who would know about the fairies? Like, who could we go in?
Who would know about the fairies? Probably the best man in the country, fairy-wise, is Eddie Lanahan. Do you know Eddie?
Yeah, I was talking with him yesterday. He's a podcast, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great man.
Where is he? Is he Kerry or something?
He's Kerry, yeah. He's getting on a bit now too, but he's a wealth of information, boys.
That'd be class. Would you talk to us?
I'd say you would, yeah. I'd say you would.
He'd be great if you could get him.
Yeah.
We get good Kerry.
This man has shown us all about Omeath, told us all about the cure, the fairies, shown us everything Omeath has to offer. We met Pat Dobbin. Now, we're on to the next one. Ooh!
Bonjour, bonne nuit, au revoir, salut. Les jeux sont faits et rien ne va plus. Une cocotte au cabaret, un général sur les Champs-Élysées, des sans-culottes à la Bastille, Monsieur Guillotin et Madame Guillotine.